We're at Galot Motorsports Park. It's race day. It's the Pro Mods, the 28x10 with the clocks on. We got a bunch of cars out here. It looks like we're parked over here in the weeds. I ain't never parked over here, but today we're over here. We got a little bit of asphalt, but it's mostly in the grass. But we're good. It's not bad. It's a little quiet over here. It's hard to hear the speaker, so hopefully we don't miss. They are moving too, son. When they talk about these cars, when they call you, you better come to the lanes or you might not get a pass in. But we got my car out here. We got Brian's out here. His is here. It's ready to go. So we're going to hit some passes, have some fun. Everything's cranked up and warmed up. So we're about to go make some passes. I think we got 2 rounds of qualifying, and then we'll go into first round. Hope we can go decently fast, not tear anything up, and get some win lanes. So we just made our first pass. That was pretty good, pretty productive. What do you think? Not bad. We're happy with it. Clock's on, like we were saying. That's not bad. I figured it would run about this. It went a 122, 60 foot, 323 to the half track, 487, 149 miles per hour. So I'm not too bad. I'm not unhappy with that at all. I'll show you the data log here in a minute. It looked like boost is perfect. It was 27, 28, 29 pounds of boost, and I'm an idiot. I don't know what was happening. I run it way past the finish line. It boost creeped a little bit, like a half a pound, 1 pound. But man, I can't complain about that. That is awesome right there. And it looking at the video on the run, it dangled the front tires a little bit, picked them up and then set them back down. That's awesome. Here's the data log of that pass. You can see it left with some boost on. I turned the launch RPM up to 4,200. Looked like it banged for about 3 seconds or so, which is pretty fast. And then what this is I put the timing back in. I think it was 7.5 or 8 pounds of boost. I was trying to limit boost, but it left on 8.2. Yellow line is the boost curve. Green line is the target. Red is the RPM. So that right there made 28 pounds of boost. Then it went up and I shifted at 8,000 RPM. It fell back, loaded it up a little bit. Boost here, 30 pounds of boost, 26 pounds of dome pressure, 35 pounds of dome pressure, or back pressure. 35 pounds of dome pressure, 30 pounds of boost, and 26 pounds of back pressure. Man, that's not bad. So we're about 5 pounds behind target. And then right out here, that's where I should have lifted. Right there was the finish line, and I run it a little bit past that. But that was at 35 pounds of dome pressure, 30 pounds of boost, 28 pounds of back pressure. So that right there is not bad. So we're going to crank the dome up. I mean, 30 pounds of boost, 149 mile per hour. It should be safe to about 35 pounds of boost. So I'm gonna put, I'm gonna go ahead and put 40 pounds of. I'm gonna put 47. If I put 10, that'll be 5. 5 will be 2.5. I'm gonna put dome pressure up to 45. I'm gonna leave the ramp where it's at, so it should take off a little bit harder. So 45 pounds of dome pressure should make me about 35 pounds of boost, maybe 37 pounds, maybe 40 pounds. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe I should put 40 pounds of dome pressure. Alright, we're going to decide. I'm going to turn this off. It's going to take me a minute, and I'm going to go back and forth. And I'll say it's going to keep it at 35, and it'll be at 40, and it'll be at 45. And at some point in this thought process where I'm talking, I will have it at like 50 or 55. But hopefully I will talk myself out of that because I don't want to blow it up, at least quickly. All right, check this out. This is Dace. This is one of our little 28x10 cars. He's going to turn the clocks on today too. This thing is beautiful. He's got a 100% bad to the bone little street-ish truck. Awesome. Man, we got some decent crowd out here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 cars. So me and Chris, John is over there. He sounds a little hoarse today. But John is over there. Chris is driving his car. And so we're going heads up. Best ET is the winner between us, but we're going to run them side by side. I just went a 487. They missed first round. Something happened. I don't know. He said something. I don't know if I believe them or not, though. It may have, but it may not have. But so we're going heads up. Me and John. If I lose, he's going to come up with something crazy for me to do. If I win, then I'm going to have to come up with something on him, too. I don't know what it's going to be. But there's the killer back there. That car right there with that 180 millimeter turbo. That's Jason Tyson. He's got the fastest hot rod out here. So they're running the junior dragsters. We're back here now, so we'll be sliding up in a second, going into second round. This is the second round of qualifying, so we're going to be on a pro ladder. So it's very important to qualify good, because number 1 will be racing number 16, and you know, so forth, number 2 and against number 15. So it's important to have a good qualifying spot. There's Mr. John Dock. All right, let's go. So that was a little better. So our grudge race against Chris, well, he won barely, but he treed me a little bit. He got me real good on the tree. I had a terrible light, but I'm glad our grudge race that they set up was best ET. So I got best ET. So I won, but I lost. So we're gonna have to figure something out. I don't know what we're gonna figure out, or what our winner and loser is. But that went pretty close to what I thought it was going to do. 117, 60 foot, 310, 468 at 155. That's not bad. I am very happy with that. The boost did come up a little bit, as you can see by the ET and the mile per hour. Picked up 6 mile per hour almost. So that's the good thing about turbos and boost. It is easy to manipulate power, but it's also easy to blow stuff up. Let's look at the data log real fast. So the data log, it looks pretty good. I was on the trans brake a little longer on the 2-step. His had, I thought his come up a little quicker than that, so I went ahead and spooled up. But I ended up, what happens back here is where all these little dips are. That's where I breathed it. I was on full boost here, and I was expecting him to bump in. He was only a couple seconds behind. It's not like he was like 10 seconds late spooling his up, but it was a little slower. And so I breathed it here, let off a little bit on the gas, just so that you can see the RPM is still there, but the boost come back down. The boost was, able to drop down. I went less than full throttle, 38%, and I just held it there for a second. And then when he turned on the top bulb, I just went back full throttle. And if you do that, then, all you got to do, you're putting a little bit of heat in the transmission, but that's okay. It should be able to handle it. But just ease off the gas just a little bit. And as soon as you go back to it, you got instant boost. If you let, off the gas completely or off the trans brake, you get screwed up. So don't do that. So it makes it, it's not hard. It just takes some seat time to do it. So it left on some boost, though. It left on 9.5 pounds of boost. Then it gets out there and it takes off pretty good. Went down 117, 60 foot. That was in 1.8 seconds. I had full boost. I was commanding 45 pounds of dome pressure. It hit 47 for a second, but 35 pounds of boost. And then it shifted and rolled on out here. Excuse me. And you see the boost curve is nice and flat. So the boost curve is happy. So I'm happy with the boost curve. It's happy. 45 pounds of boost, or 45 pounds of dome pressure. That's the target boost, which is dome pressure. Dome pressure was 44, right where it needed to be. Boost was 36.4, back pressure 36. So right now I'm at 1-to-1 exactly. So you can't really beat that, and it runs on out, and I run it a little far out, but not too much. Target air fuel 3.8. You know, air fuel was actually 3.7. I was within 1% on the closed loop targeting, so that's good. That's awesome, man. So I'm right at 1-to-1. This awesome forced inductions turbo is killing it. So it's making good power. So I'm really happy. So we got first round coming up. I don't know if I'm gonna change anything or not. I'll probably leave it the way it is. It depends on who I gotta run. I should have a halfway decent ladder spot, ladder position. I should have qualified probably mid-pack, maybe a little bit better than mid-pack. So if I'm qualified pretty decent, I'm gonna leave it the way it is. And then if I make it some rounds, then I might turn it up a little bit later. But I'd rather not turn it up. I mean, 155 mile per hour, this thing weighs 3,100 pounds. That thing's making some power, so I'm not, you know, unhappy at all. But, you know, borrowed time, so I don't want to kill it. So, all right, so let's go see. We're going to find the ladder and see what we can figure out. All right, well, here we go. We got the ladder. You can see we had a pretty full field. It looks like we got 14 cars, so that's awesome. Jason Tyson took #1 qualifier. 431, 177, and yours truly was #2 qualifier, 468 at 155. So that's pretty doggone good. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty happy. So we've got a race. Brian's got, I think that's Todd Wester. We've got a race, V. Perry. I don't really know who that is, but we'll see. We're gonna leave the tune-up the same. I did not do anything. Just got through reviewing the tune-up on the last one, and or the video on the last one. The tune-up, the data log, all that stuff looks good. The tune-up is, I'm gonna leave it the same. The video showed it looks like it pushed a little bit to the left and got out of the groove. I'm gonna leave it the same right now, see what happens. Maybe it won't do anything crazy. I don't know if it will or not, so we'll see. There's my engine builder, machine shop coach racing engines, Richard. He come out here to lend a hand today. So he's gonna get dirty, I'm sure. Well, I hope he don't get too dirty, but I mean, we'll see. All right, so we're gonna roll into first round here in a few minutes. All right, here we go, first round. Jason, the Turbo Mustang. Philip, I don't know who he's racing. Oh, he's racing Jason Tyson. Chris, Bad Apple. That's a fast one too. We got this beautiful Nova here. Brian's got Todd Wester. I don't know who everybody else has got. All right, let's go get first round. first round. Car run good. I didn't make any changes at all on the tune-up. Didn't do anything. And it was basically a bracket car. It run really, really good. I'm really happy. 117, 310, 468, 155 again. So I'm really excited about that. Everything seems to be good. I am smelling a little bit of transmission fluid, so I think I'm gonna jack it up real fast and change the transmission fluid out. It got a little hot on the first pass or second pass, whichever it was. I can just smell the fluid. This fluid smells a little burnt. It's not terrible, so I'm gonna go ahead and change it before it gets any worse. We got everything cooling down now. We got to race our buddy David Parrish in the green car next round, so that's who we got. So we're gonna I don't think I'm gonna do anything for the tune-up. I'm gonna pull the data log, just make sure everything went good, make sure there's no hiccups, no anomalies anywhere that look funny, and as long as everything looks good there, we're going to go ahead and send it against David, and hopefully it'll stick and go. Felt like a good pass that time. Okay, so here's the data log from that 468. It was a little faster on the back end. I see what happened. I see why it was a little faster. It didn't leave with as much boost, but the 60 foot was about the same, 7.5 pounds, which it didn't bang as long. You see it just, we bumped right in. But look at this curve. The boost curve is much flatter, but also the transmission fluid was a little hotter, so the converter was a little bit looser. This converter is very tight. It's a PTC, and I've got a 331 gear in it. So that 331 gear makes it a little tough to pull it. And you see I shifted it at 8,000 RPM, 8,000, and it dropped back that time to 73. First pass or second pass, third pass, I don't remember which pass it was. Second pass, I think it dropped to 72 maybe. I don't remember. I had to go back and look at the data log. Might have been 7. First pass it dropped to 69. I think it was. I can't remember. That's the reason I had to record all this stuff. But you can see out the back door, it just holds tight. The converter just locks it down. That shift was at 2.4 seconds into the run, so it was almost half track when it did it. And then I got to the finish line. So this is a great thing about Holly, it can tell you the time. So that's about the finish line right there. And it was solid over here, 3.8, 2% correction, it was a little fat. 45 target, dome pressure was actually 46, boost 36.2, back pressure 36. I mean, all this stuff is great. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just leave this thing exactly again. I'm going to leave it alone. And we got David Parrish, our buddy. Our 4 of us right here on the corner here, we all got first round wins. David, Brian, myself, and Dace. But the funny thing is we all got to race each other second round. I've got to race David Parrish, and Brian's got to race Dace. So that's funny though. How ironic is it? All right, so second round coming up. Here we go, second round. Jason Tyson's got a bye. This cat here, I think it's Johnny Fast. He's got to race Joey Moore up there. I got to race my buddy David Parrish. Brian's got to race my buddy Dace. We're down to 7 cars. So winner of these go to semis. Okay, so here's the run with David Parrish. It slowed down just a little bit, but I don't know really what happened. It didn't bang as hard on the two-step either, so the 60 foot went down a tad, but not a bad run. He had another good run. He didn't get a personal best on that one, but still not a bad run at all. So 119, 313, 472, and 155. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit for the next round since I've got this cat that run 160 mile per hour. So let's do that real fast, and we're going to go in the next round. All right, we made it through the semifinals. Down here on the return road, a little pumped up, a little excited. Car ran good. I grabbed that scramble button. I grabbed it, it didn't help a lot. I was hoping it would help a little bit. But I might need to grab it a little earlier if I want it to really pick the car up. But we got the win light. So we are in the finals. We got to race our buddy Jason Tyson. He just went a 435 at 177 miles per hour. I went a 467, so I'm a little bit of an underdog, but we're going to see if we can't pick up maybe a 10th. No. I'm not going to turn it up. I'm not going to turn it up. Okay, so we pulled the data log real fast. Here's the time slip. There's time slip. It flew away. Okay. Had a decent light. 117, 309, 467, 156. I did hit the scramble button. I did not know where he was, so I hit the scramble button, and you can see it on the graph. That big graph, that point, the yellow line. So the scramble worked. Let's see. It left on 4,200, 8.5 pounds of boost. So it come up, run good, got 8,000 RPM shifted. Boost was perfect. 36 pounds, 35 pounds. Back pressure was good. But check this out. I grabbed the scramble because I didn't know where he was. He ran 160 mile an hour the pass before. Boost jumped up to 40 pounds. So I had 8 PSI on the scramble. So you can see it did. It come up. So it liked it. And then right here, boost starts dropping. And so it started dropping, drop. And I let off right here. It was the end of the pass. And so I was like, what in the world did the boost drop for? So one of my main safeties kicked on. And those of you that have been following for a little while and saw my channel, right here, this red line is oil pressure. And so it gets out here right before I grab that scramble, and oil pressure drops from 62 PSI to 44, 24, 10, 0. So it pretty rapidly drops. So one of two things happened. Either it pulled all the oil out of the oil pan, or either the wiring to the sensor is bad. I put a new sensor on it, but I did not change the wiring. So I cranked it up. It's got good oil pressure. I'm going to put an extra quart of oil in it just for good measure, just in case. And I'm going to probably go ahead and turn that safety off. I'm pretty sure it's a wiring issue. So they're going to be calling us here shortly. They're running through us pretty fast. It's not super late, 6 o'clock. We'll be done by 7 or so. So we'll be done before dark, right around dark, which is amazing. Track is clearing out a little bit. I wish I was going to have a little bit more time, but I don't have time, I don't think, to go live anymore. But I might be able to get one at the very end. If I can speed mine up a 10th, then he's only got me by 2. So if I can catch him on the tree, something happening, there, or maybe it might blurp the tires, then I might be able to catch the win. But I've got to have something. I've got to have him have a problem in order for me to get the win. So it is what it is. He's just got a much faster car than me. But we're having a blast. I don't want to wish bad luck on him. So hopefully he won't have any problems, and we both go down clean and have real stellar ETs. All right, let's go to the finals.
John Phillips left lane, Jason Tyson right lane.
Huge W for Jason Tyson, 434, 177. Give me right on $50 later tonight. He may kill it.
John goes forward.
Jason Tyson on the lap. Your winner.
But a huge W for Jason Tyson.
All right, so we made it down to the finals. Jason Tyson killed us. We cut a good reaction time though. He knew he didn't need to do a lot. I mean, he'd been running 430s all day, so he knew that he didn't have to be super fast on the tree. So that is super smart racing. So you know, he done his thing. He come by me, margin of victory. He went a 33 or 35. I went a 65. I did turn it up some, but it was mostly down track. But we just tried to crank it, and it popped a little bit. I hope it's not hurt. We're charging the battery real fast, and I drove it back to the pits. It might just be hot. But it did make 43 pounds of boost at the big end. But it should have been fine there. So we're good to go. There's Randy and his new ride. So he's cutting out. He's got a hour and 45-minute ride to the house. So we had a lot of fun. Brian had a lot of fun. His run good. He is super excited. I am super excited on how good his run. So it was a good time. We had some fun. It was really fun. Track's clearing out. Jason got the win. I got runner up. That's not bad for just getting the car back together. Hopefully I don't have to take it out again. But you know, that's part of the fun of it, I guess. So all right guys, so we are done for tonight. Runner up. Y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Y'all go fast and get some win lights. We got a couple tonight. We ended up with an L in the finals, but that's okay. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Bye.